I'm gonna do one more cut with the TSV60 here on this side. So now so you don't get confused, you know it's the furthest cut over here. Leave it on. Let's put this down here like this. Let's see how this does. So clear as day, I've got tear out on the off cut, 100%. Now, let's go ahead and give it a shot with the TS60. So what I did notice on the TSV60, when you turn the dial on the saw to move the scoring blade to the left or to the right, it bottomed out in one direction. I believe that was going to the, let me take a look at it again. Let me say specifically what it was. Because it was to the right of the blade and I was trying to go left. It bottomed out when I turned it to the right. So when I turned it all the way to the right, it was still off and it wouldn't turn anymore. So then I just turned it a few revolutions back to the left and that brought it over and it seems to be in line. All right, so we're gonna do the TS60 here. We're gonna see if there's any difference in this cut. Now this particular, it's a new rail, I haven't used it. Plug here, plug in here, and think of it. On the rail appropriately. All right, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna move this closer to this cut here and we'll give it a cut. Let's make sure we're at about 30 mil. And here we go. All right, so I did cut the strip on this. All right, let me see if I can get a close-up of this. So the bottom line is the TSV60. The top one is the the 60. And as you can see, both of them look pretty good. I'm gonna be honest, from what I can see here, the TSV60 seems to have more tear out on the right side of the actual cut, whereas the actual TS60, it does a really good job, but there are a couple spots. There's one here, there's one there, right here, right here, where you have some flaws on the left side of the cut. On this one here, as I'm looking really closely here, and I have to admit, it is a flawless cut. I don't see any issues there on the TSV60, but the offcut looks substantially worse, to be quite honest, in my opinion. And now let's try the REB saw. So we'll take this one, pop this one on here. So the REB is a 2.2 millimeter cut. Alright, so we got everything set up here. Let's turn on the dust extractor. Alright, here we go. Alright, so looking at the REB saw, I see a little bit of tear out here on both sides, some here, a bigger piece on the right, a little bit there on the left. It's a pretty good cut. It's actually a better cut than the 60, but it does have a few chips on the left side. The right side does have a bigger divot there, but it actually did pretty good. So far, by far, the TSV60 on the right side of the cut looks really bad, but on the left side, it's so far it's the best of all of them. Let's go ahead and try another saw, 1400. We'll use this one. This is going to be the HK. This is going to be the TSC55 KEB saw that we're going to try next. Put this here. We've got to butt it up. Back, batteries. Okay, so this one I'm going to use the bag because I have misplaced my dust port for this particular saw, so we're going to just use the bag. So this is the 1.8 millimeter kerf what is this here? TSC55 KEB. This is the kickback version, the newest cordless saw. The previous cordless saw was the older model, the REB. Let's try it out. Okay, let's take a look at that cut. Lots of tear out on the right side. I see a little bit on the left side here, but the right side looks pretty bad. It looks about as bad as the TSV60 potentially. Maybe, yeah, it's about as bad. Maybe a little bit worse than the TSV60 you can see here. Okay. All right, so far, comparing them all, and I would say that, you know, the TS60, it's okay, and the actual 2.2, the REB did okay, but it's not beating the TS-V60 for sure. Now, let's go ahead and give another saw the shot. Let's try the TS-75. Move it over just a little bit more. Okay, we're ready to go ahead and fire up the TS-75 and give it a shot. All right, we're gonna move this over. Take a look. All right, so this right here is this was the KEB saw, and this is the TS-75 or TS-75. I see one real small imperfection on the left, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit here, one kind of bigger chip out there, a little bit. So, I mean, it's passable on the TS-75. The right side of the cut is a little rough, not quite as rough as the KEB. Yeah, the KEB. The 2.2 REB saw did well. The TS-60 did okay, but you do see a little bit of chip on both sides. Still, as far as just looking at one side or the other, it's definitely, you're going to say that the TS-V60 is so far the best on the left side. The offcut is not very impressive at all. All right, just for fun, we're gonna go ahead and I said I wasn't gonna include this, but I'm gonna do it just to see what a regular circular saw does. We're gonna use this HKC saw. Let me set it for, let me set the height for, let's go for 3/4. We'll use this. The 670 rail. Butt it up, go here. Now the one thing I really like about this saw, you see how easy I just put it on there and it's all a one go operation here. As far as, I'm not finagling with a whole bunch of cords. The cordless is way better, and this having the rail integrated is really nice. Restart this. All right, yeah. You can see right off the bat, it's marred up on both sides. The actual cordless Festool, the newest one, is like a toned down version of the regular circular saw, the HKC. The HKC, it's tore up all the way down on both sides. The 75 looks pretty good. The REB looks pretty good. So what I'm seeing here is the 2.2 millimeter kerf actually does a little bit better. The 1.8 is okay, but I think I like the 2.2, which is both the TS75 and the REB, even over the KS60 for melamine. Now, if you do want the perfect cut on the actual left side, TSV60 is definitely, so far, it is what it is. That's the best one. So let's go ahead and pull out the, let's pull out the Makita. Let's do that. Keep in mind the TSV guide rail square works with both the Festool and the Makita, which is a nice benefit. Pull this over here. Put this here. We'll go to 30 mil. All right, here we go. Makita's looking rough. Both sides of the cut on melamine. Now, remember that's the regular blade. It's not a dedicated blade for cutting melamine. All right, I guess we'll go ahead and pull the last of the Mohicans out. So we'll do this last cut and then we'll do our final analysis of all of this. Okay, so the DeWalt is about as bad as the Makita, maybe slightly better, but it has some pretty bad tear out as well. So yeah, this is what I got as far as results.